Right. Well, and that's the second thing. Like you said, they turned them over, but didn't capitalize on it. And so while that takes possessions from Indiana and shots, it doesn't hurt them as much if you're not scoring on those turnovers. But also, they didn't shoot well. Against a defense, Indiana's not a great defensive team. Even these playoffs, they're right in the middle, 8th out of 16 teams defensively. But they shot 39% Oklahoma City last night. So they didn't shoot it well. You watch them, they missed a lot of shots that they've been making in these playoffs. Yeah, a lot of open threes and stuff. And then conversely, Indiana, when they weren't turning it over, they were having their way with OKC, with the best defense in the league. They shot 47% overall, 46% from three. Second half, when they don't turn the ball over, they only had 5 turnovers. They shot 51% and 50% from three. So Oklahoma City's defense, while it was getting the steals and the turnovers, it wasn't stopping Indiana. And part of that is Indiana's got a ton of three-point shooters. Like all 5 guys can shoot the three. The other thing is they went small. And Dagnall, I do fault Dagnall, who I think is a phenomenal coach, for starting small right away. Like, why? Why adjust? Why adjust to them? They're in your building. You're the team with 68 wins.
Oh, I like this.
Your big lineup went 29-1 against the Eastern Conference. Why am I going small to play? That was one of my things Indiana had to do. Make OKC play small, get at least one, if not both of their bigs off the floor. He does it right away. Now, like you said, it worked.
Well, that's the
but
thing.
a lot of that, it worked. It didn't work in terms of rebounding. They got out-rebounded by 17.
That's
and Indiana's a bad rebounding team.
But it worked in that defensively, which was part of the adjustment.
Well, they got steals.
They got steals, and they were winning the whole game.
I mean, I see both sides.
They were winning the whole game. And I
just think, don't you think psychologically, though, you played into the Pacers' hands? When I walk out there and I see, oh, wow, they're adjusting to us already. We're supposed to be the underdogs, and y'all adjusting us?
That's what Richard Jefferson said on the broadcast. Perk said the same thing. Stink this morning on Breakfast Ball. Like, the athlete mindset was, we're in their heads, they're adjusting to us.
Right.
But I've also watched enough basketball, you have too. When Tibbs makes that lineup change in, game 5, like, man, are you too late to this adjustment? How many times was Doc Rivers criticized for not making an adjustment?
The series hadn't even started yet.
Okay,
why you scared? Those adjustments are made out of desperation. That's what the ex-athletes are saying. You're acting desperate. And we just showed up.
Or you're acting smart and proactive because it worked.
Now they're down 1-0.
It didn't work.
But not
the rebounding. But the rebounding is big.
The
rebounding is big.
It was big.
Hartenstein played 17 minutes. He usually plays 23. Chet only played 23 minutes. He usually plays 29. So they got the big. They were hunting Chet too.
Chet had a terrible game.
So yeah, those
bigs had started every postseason game together, and they played 0 minutes together last night. 0 minutes.
I agree with Brew. I don't like. You're the number 1 seed. You're at home. You're dominant the whole year. To come in and be like, all right, how are we going to stop the 4-seeded Pacers, who are historic underdogs? I don't like it. Here's quickly, Dust. Can we throw up the Thunder Nuggets graphic? This is the last time they bounced back, right? So they did the bad fouling strategy, my take, on Game 1 against Denver. Ended up losing by 2. Game 2, they won by 43 and shot 56%. SGA was pretty consistent, 33-34. So, Brew, just quick look ahead. Do you expect not this level of a bounce back, but they are favored by 11. What type of response do you think you're going to see from the Thunder?
Well, one, they had better respond, and I think they will. I mean, I don't think a 43-point win, but I think they look really good and win. The interesting thing will be, does Dagnall go back to his normal starting lineup, or does he stick with this, with Hartenstein coming off the bench? Either way, I think OKC comes out and sends a little bit of a message.
How about this? The Thunder haven't lost 4 of 7, which is obviously what it would take to lose the series, all year.
I know.
There were stretches 4-4 back in November. They lose Game 6 to Denver. They win Game 7 by 32.
Right.
Like they bounce back. They're going to win.
The Celtics have a lot of those same statistics.
No, it's true.
The Celtics never. Celtics' longest losing streak was 2 games.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's all I need to know. Turns out I was wrong.
We said that we thought the Knicks were the team of destiny, but there's evidence it might be.
Finally, we're closing the segment with this.
Pacers.
The emotion of game one.
Kind of, sort of.
Pacers watch party, going absolutely crazy, rooting hard for their hometown, which was something that should have also rung true for us. Brew, you betrayed the Pacers despite yelling Naptown several times last week. Here was your tweet at 11:08 p.m. Got to be honest. I want to scream Naptown, but I don't deserve it. Wow. Just wow.
That's at least self-aware. You don't deserve it.
Brew, do you regret betraying the Pacers?
Well, first of all, betray is the wrong word. I'm rooting for Naptown. I gave them the blueprint last week to win this series. But it hurt. Last night I felt happy because they obviously won the game. And I said I'm rooting for them. And sad because I hadn't picked them and couldn't celebrate full throttle all at once. Happy and sad all at once. And I'm telling you, we alluded to it earlier. It wouldn't be the first time somebody switched their pick in the middle of the finals. Nick Wright, the great Nick Wright, did that a few years ago. Regrets it to this day. You're his best friend, you know.
Oh, yeah. He likes to talk about take integrity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I do not feel comfortable changing my pick once the series has started.
Okay, well, then you can't be yelling Naptown anymore.
Well, but I said I was rooting for Naptown.
Yeah, we're in a tough spot.
I'm rooting for Naptown. So like I said, I was happy, but yeah, look, I still feel like OKC is going to win the series. But I don't feel it as strongly as I did going into this thing.
Well, yeah.
And so, yeah.
Okay.
I root for my takes. I like being right.
Well, I do too. That's why
I like
it's tough.
being right.
I don't know that I can do this Nick thing where he pick one team and roots for the other. I don't know that I can
shameful.
do that.
I've got one
that.
final thing that maybe, Dusty, don't put up the tweet yet. You've had one consistent take all throughout this playoffs, really all throughout the season, to be honest with you. It's that the Thunder are too young and too inexperienced.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm just trying to offer you, what do they say in the art of war, a golden bridge to retreat. So here we go.
Okay.
That was your take.
That was.
And then you were like, well, the Pacers don't have any real finals
They both been
experience
to the
either.
playoffs 2 years.
Siakam has been in the finals. But,
and they're a year older.
But Rick Carlisle, this is his 6th finals as a player, assistant, and head coach. And when we were looking at things to draw upon, here was a tweet from Tim McMahon that I thought would pique your interest, Brew. The Pacers rallied from a 15-point deficit to win game 1. Last team to do that in a finals game, Rick Carlisle's Mavericks in 2011. It's almost like you knew that experience would come into play here in the finals.
I did.
Just
But see, what you're doing right now is actually brilliant and savvy.
Putting it out there.
Because then whenever it ends, you could be right.
He was right.
Well, I was rooting. I'm rooting hard for the. You know what?
Not yet. Don't do it. Not quite yet. Coming up next, Rodgers to the Steelers. Next on FS1. And the
I didn't pick him. I just say Naptown.
Non-official pick. Next on FS1 of the Fox
It's been
Sports.
dying to get out for the last 20 hours whenever the game ended.
Heat.